What do we need to do? Well, in this section, I'm going to teach you a 12-step process to smash your exam. And before we do that, we're also going to go into some of the basics that you have to go through, just some of the general exam information. How does the exam work? How does the marking work? The time limits, the submissions, the registrations, and all of that. So please work your way through the tutorials below in the correct order. And you really should be studying this before you get stuck into the course materials. And what I would like you to do is to study your course materials with your exam in mind. Your exam is going to ask you to not just recite information. Reciting information is easy. Remember, this is an open book exam, so copying and pasting things from your book isn't going to work. You're going to have to apply knowledge to a scenario, to a case study. So it's about testing your understanding. Can you recognize good? Can you recognize bad? Can you make suggestions for improvements? Can you show us that you understand? So what I mean when I say study your course, your materials with the exam in mind is, as you're going through the course materials, I want you to try and think of possible exam questions which you could come up against. Ask yourself, can I think of examples in my own professional experience? So because you've worked somewhere, haven't you? You've worked in the workplace, maybe lots of workplaces. Can I think of examples of how the theory that I'm studying now, what that looks like in real life? One of the first things you're going to study is law. Right, so let's say you're studying a bit of law. Can you think of examples of how the law was complied with in your workplace or a previous workplace? Can you think of any examples of when the law was broken in your workplace? Was there a wall that was crumbling that could fall in? Was there something that could fall from the ceiling? So can you think of specific examples? And that's what I mean by that. Right, let's imagine it's exam time. You have gone onto the NEBOSH website, you have downloaded the scenario and the questions, and you've downloaded an exam answer sheet. So you've got two documents. So one's a PDF, one's a Word document. But actually, I want you to skip over the scenario. Let's have a quick look at it. This is what you've downloaded, and you've got a load of instructions, which you should read, by the way, but not yet. You've got a scenario, which you should definitely read, but not yet. Let's just go straight to these questions here. I want you to read the questions just to see what kinds of monsters you're going to have to fight in this exam. Which ones are easy, which ones are hard, what kinds of topics. Because when you read the scenario, you're then going to read it with these topics in mind. Think, right, I've got a question on this, question on that. Let's look for that in a scenario. So let's have a quick look at this one for what it's worth. We've got one here. This is about fees for intervention. Okay, multiple questions in one. We've got a part A, part B, and so on. Then we've got this one here, the policy arrangements. Okay, this is a fairly common type of question which comes up occasionally, so you may have seen that one before. Wonderful. 15 marks, right? How does the manager demonstrate commitment? 20 marks, right? That's a big one, isn't it? 20 marks. Now that might freak you out. Like, don't get freaked out if it's a 20-mark question. It might be really easy. When we read through the scenario, you might spot lots of different ways in which this manager demonstrates commitment, either well or badly, so like you might be going for the scenario going, oh look, there's one. It might be very, very easy to pick up 15, 20 marks there. If you can pick up 20 marks on this one, you've halfway passed, and all you have to do is spot them in the scenario. So don't freak out when you read some of these questions. It might be very obvious when you look at the scenario. Based on the scenario only, what organizational factors? So 10-mark question on human factors. You've got reactive, active, leading monitoring measures, right? So hopefully you're getting a bit of a feel for it. And chances are, the legal question might freak you out a little bit because most people don't like law. So you're like, oh, what do I do with that one? Okay, all right. You've read the questions now, and you've seen that some are small questions and some are very big questions. You've seen what the different types of topics are. So now you are well equipped to getting into the scenario itself. And so for that, my friends, I will see you in step 2, which is read the scenario.